How I Turned 1 into 1 million. The story of building a business from scratch. It was an ordinary Tuesday morning when I found myself staring at a $1 bill. At the time, I was broke, frustrated, and living paycheck to paycheck. My dreams of financial independence seemed far out of reach, and I had no idea how I was going to get ahead. But I had something that many people don't have: the willingness to start with nothing. It all started when I decided I would no longer be just a passive observer of my life. I was determined to take control, no matter how small my starting point was. I had a vague idea that entrepreneurship might be my way out, but no funds, no resources, and no experience made the idea of starting a business feel like a far-fetched dream. But there was one thing I had: a deep desire to learn. That, I figured, was a good place to begin. Step 1. The idea. One evening, as I was walking through my neighborhood, I noticed something interesting. People were throwing away perfectly good furniture, household items, and electronics. Most of them looked like they were in fine condition, just old or no longer needed. I had an idea. What if I could take these discarded items and refurbish them? With one in my pocket, I didn't have much to work with, but I figured that I could start by simply asking people for their unwanted items, cleaning them up, and selling them for a small profit. I went home, found an old cloth, and spent my first dollar on a cleaning product, something that would help me shine up the furniture and make it look new. Step 2. The hustle begins. I started knocking on doors, asking people if they had anything they no longer wanted. At first, I was met with skepticism. People thought I was crazy, but after a few weeks, I started building a small collection of furniture and household items. I took everything I gathered to a local thrift shop, where I set up a small booth to sell the items. My first sale was a used wooden chair. I sold it for $15. It wasn't much, but it felt like a huge win. I used that $15 to buy more cleaning supplies and more items to refurbish. As time went on, I got better at fixing up the items, making them look new again. I learned a few simple carpentry tricks, how to fix minor electrical issues, and how to refurbish old furniture. Every day, I would spend hours cleaning, sanding, painting, and restoring items to sell for a higher price. Step 3. Scaling up. With every item I sold, I gained more confidence. I started reinvesting my profits into more inventory. I was working around the clock, often late into the night, making improvements, learning new skills, and building relationships with people in my community. Eventually, I had enough money to rent a small space in a local flea market. I was still running on a shoestring budget, but I didn't mind. The hustle was becoming easier, and my reputation was growing. I started offering custom refurbishing services where customers could bring in their old items for me to restore. I began charging more for these services, and word of mouth spread. Step 4. Going online. The turning point came when I decided to take my business online. I realized that there was a huge market for refurbished furniture and household items. I built a simple website and started listing my products on platforms like eBay and Craigslist. The first few months were slow, but I stuck with it, learning about online marketing, photography, and how to write compelling product descriptions. As I got better at marketing my items online, my sales began to skyrocket. What had once been a tiny operation selling chairs and tables turned into a full-blown e-commerce business. People from all over the country were reaching out, interested in custom pieces and high-quality refurbished furniture. I started shipping items to different states, and eventually even overseas. Step 5. The $1 million mark. By now, my business had grown exponentially. I expanded into selling other products, like refurbished electronics, vintage decor, and even offering home staging services. What once started with a simple $1 investment had now turned into a multifaceted business with a revenue stream coming from different directions. It wasn't just about buying and selling anymore. It was about creating a brand. I focused on building relationships with customers, offering exceptional service, and ensuring every product I sold had a unique story behind it. People loved the idea of giving old things a second life, and that emotional connection made my business stand out. After 5 years of hard work, late nights, and constant learning, I reached the 1 million mark in revenue. I had turned that one into something far greater than I had ever imagined. I had built a business, a brand, and a community of loyal customers who trusted me to deliver high-quality products. Step 6. Giving back. When I reached my first $1 million, I felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. But I knew the journey wasn't just about financial success. It was about the lessons I had learned along the way. I began mentoring other entrepreneurs who were just starting, sharing my story, and encouraging them to take that first step, no matter how small it seemed. Today, I look back and realize that the journey from $1 to $1 million wasn't just about the money. It was about perseverance, creativity, and the willingness to start from nothing. Each mistake, setback, and hurdle along the way taught me valuable lessons about business and life. The key takeaways. 1. Start small, think big. You don't need a large sum of money to begin. All you need is an idea and the courage to start. 2. Learn and adapt. Never stop learning, be open to trying new things, and don't be afraid to make mistakes along the way. 3. Embrace hard work. Success doesn't happen overnight. It takes dedication, persistence, and a willingness to hustle day in and day out. 4. Reinvest your profits. Grow your business by reinvesting the money you make. Every dollar you make can help you build your empire. 5. Create emotional connections. People want to connect with brands that have a story. Build relationships with your customers and make them feel valued. From that first dollar to the $1 million milestone, the journey wasn't easy, but it was worth it. If I can do it, so can you. Take that first step and let your dreams take flight.